Who is ready for some petty revenge? I put vegetables in all my food to stop my roommate's kid from eating it. Mom threatens legal action. Diabolical. You make your roommate's kid eat healthy. I posted this before in a different sub, but I figured it would be appreciated here and I have more things to add. I am so ready for this. I, 26 female, live in a rented house with a single mother, 30 male, and her son, 6 male. I had another person living with me, but they moved out and the mother moved in. I don't mind living with her and her kid. It is fine and we kind of do our own things. I miss the times when people could rent apartments and not rooms. I spend a lot of time at my boyfriend's place or working. Our work schedules collide, so we really don't interact much, but when we do, it's fine, no issue there. I want to start with saying that she clearly struggles financially, but I don't think it's an excuse. I don't make lots of money either. Oh boy, I'm scared. What's coming next? However, I've noticed that my food would go missing or portions would be taken from it. I assumed it was her kid, so I asked her if she'd stop him from eating my food. I was calm about it and she just said she would. Is the kid preparing food for himself? Is he taking out food from the fridge to serve himself? Or is his mother preparing it for him? It's a big difference because if it's the latter, then the kid is not the one who's stealing. It didn't really upset me when it first started. It started getting annoying when I get home from work and expect to have a meal's worth of leftovers in the fridge, only to see it picked through or just gone. I can 100% understand your frustration. It is not okay to take other people's food without asking. I kept bringing it up and she started getting annoyed with me bringing it up. I love how she's the one who's getting annoyed. There are approximately 500 other options to fix the situation. But no, just get mad, that's gonna fix everything, huh? Just from observing them, I realized that neither of them are eat vegetables. And judging by the food that would get picked through and the food that would be untouched, anything with green in, it was avoided, right? Because green food for a 6-year-old is a red flag. Orange chicken would be gone, but chicken and broccoli would be untouched. So I started putting vegetables in everything. I found vegetables to be delicious. This is the best passive-aggressive solution I ever heard. Opie deserves a medal. And anything green or not a potato does not get eaten. So I could mix some bell peppers into the food and it would be fine. Sounds delicious. Let me know if you want more recipes. I make a big portion of vegetables pretty frequently anyway, so I just started putting it in everything I eat. If I had leftover mashed potatoes, I'd pour green beans in and mix that up. If I had leftover cheesy/bacon fries, I'd pour broccoli all over it and mixed it in. Your GP would be absolutely happy with you. I'm sure you hit your daily 5 easily. Usually, my homemade stuff has vegetables in it, but I started making sure everything did. I made a pot of mac and cheese, the kid's favorite thing, and poured in roasted Brussels sprouts, which is actually delicious to me, and I'm eating more vegetables, so it's a win-win. She had been seeming annoyed, but we were all home when I made the pot of mac and cheese. She was in the living room and saw me get out the Brussels sprouts and was like, "What are you going to do with that?" And I poured them in. She said I was being greedy and annoying. I beg your finest pardon? She is cooking in her kitchen with the ingredients she purchased. And she's making sure to feed herself with the food she likes. You are roommates, not a family of 3. I just said, I like Brussels sprouts, and that was it. She said we need food, and I told her to go get some. Or stop buying only packaged things and your money will go further. I think her reaction shows that she was more than okay with the kid taking your food. And probably she was taking it too. The audacity and the entitlement is insane. I think she sees this as some big act of revenge, but I just simply want to be able to eat my food. Also, want to add that the sharing is not the issue. It's expecting to have food there and it's not. So often I'd be working a long day and get home expecting to have a meal's worth of food and it's all be gone. Yeah, that is completely unacceptable. And it just shows that she has zero respect towards you. Or I wake up in a rush, I had my food ready to eat in the morning only to find it gone. So now I have to skip breakfast. I think if that would happen to me twice, I would blow up. But I am a Taurus, so I guess that's my personality trait. Don't touch my food, don't touch my stuff. It's not that hard. If she would simply text sometimes, hey, is it okay if we eat food item? I would know and know to make other plans. The bar is in hell. I would stop for food or no, I have to whip something up when I get home. Also, I think eating the last of someone else's food is crazy and rude. I think touching anything that's not ours without permission is crazy and rude. If someone makes a big pot of something and asks you for a serving, sure. But if someone made something and there is one serving left and you eat it without permission, that is evil as hell. I would be so pissed if I would live with these people. Also, the mother's attitude is infuriating. There is not much that I can say about the kid. He is 6, he's a child, and if his mother's not gonna teach him that stealing food is wrong, he's not gonna understand it. Update. So I have been steadfast with putting vegetables in everything. I've put vegetables in things I've never even thought of. This has carried on and the mom calls me a jerk but will not verbalize that she's eating my food. I think it's time to them to move out. She just sees me making a lasagna and adding celery and bell peppers in the layer of fumes off to the side. The only thing I can't add vegetables to is snacks like chips or if I bake brownies or cookies. However, this is easily remedied by putting baked goods in a Tupperware and keeping them in my room, some with chips. As I previously stated, the sharing is not the issue. Recently, the kid knocked on my door and asked if he would have a bag of microwave popcorn. I said yes and gave him one. So you are not just feeding him with delicious healthy food, you are also teaching him how to be honest. It is definitely more than what his mother does for him. All of this would be way less annoying if she just texted, hey, can I have some of this, and waited for my response before just helping herself. I do feel for the mom because she clearly struggles with cooking and trying new foods. I'm sorry, but I have a hard time to relate to people who says, I cannot cook. What does that supposed to mean? You cannot read, you cannot follow basic instructions. It's nothing but weaponized incompetence. She is older than me and winces at the thought of biting into anything green. And it is spreading to her kid, but it's no excuse. And that's the sad part. A few days ago, I was making taco meat out of ground beef and like usual, she was looking without looking. She was off the side watching my every move but trying her to look normal. I made a dish the day before that involved sauteed mushrooms and cut off peppers. So when the meat was almost ready, I opened the fridge and she freaked when she saw me holding the mushrooms. She said son's name hates mushrooms. And I just poured them in the pan and mixed along with the cut off peppers. As you should, not your kid, not your responsibility to feed. This caused her to react in a way I'd never seen from her before. She was yelling and stomping around the kitchen while the kid just watched. This makes me feel like you live together with children, not a mom and her kid. Felt bad for the kid to have to see his mom like that. People were worried about her tampering with my food. I don't think she's the kind to do that, but if she did, I would report it right away. She was flipping out, but she didn't snatch my food or knocked anything over. She was opening and slamming cabinets, and it was all very silly. Wow, so she's also a huge Karen. I hate that for you. Then she started going off about how she's going to get the authorities involved. I just told her, sure, and that she needs to relax. She seemed genuinely upset and stressed, and I told her that I understand being a single mom is hard, but she needs to use her government assistance more responsibly. She'll come home with cold mac and cheese, sushi, and chicken from the grocery store prepared foods and blow all of it on that. I suggested food pantries and buying ingredients that last a while like potatoes. She said I was being condescending and I always have food to eat. That's because you're cooking your own meals. Of course, it's cheaper and lasts longer if you're preparing it for yourself. She could ask you to maybe teach her some recipes. You guys could cook together. Or maybe she can even offer you some money to make bigger portions. But no, none of these solutions. Instead, steal the food and throw a temper tantrum when it's not prepared the way they like it. Your roommate is completely unhinged. You should get rid of her as soon as possible. This is to address the just make a portion of your food and set it aside for her and the kid. What kind of advice that is? It's not OP's responsibility to feed other people and their kids. They are roommates, not a married couple. I do not make enough money to regularly feed two other people. If every now and then she asked for some of my leftovers, sure. That's the other thing. Who can afford to feed other people nowadays? But this is a consistent thing that was happening. It's not simple as giving her leftovers that I won't eat anyway. If I make a pot of something, I expect live off of that for the next few days. If it is eaten, then my money is messed up and I have to go shopping again and budget for more food. Waste my time and my money. Seriously, I think you guys have to stop being roommates. You mentioned having a boyfriend, maybe you can move in with him. Of course, maybe there is a reason why you guys not living together yet. But I think your current living situation cannot stay like this. Because basically you are parenting an adult woman and her kid. I'm gonna read some comments to see what Reddit thinks. The way the kid is more responsible than his mom and asked if he could have something when he realized says a lot. Sounds like she got a lot of growing up to do. You need to find a new roommate or new place to live. That situation won't get any better. From my personal experience, entitled people who use others literally cannot comprehend that other people they are using have, needs and stuff. I hope your living situation gonna change soon, because I have to agree, this current one never going to get better. You want it? No problem. I hate my mother-in-law. She is the most narcissistic, self-serving human I've ever met. Wow. Strong start. I dread having to see her. She is like a black hole of misery and anxiety, sucking the joy from life everywhere she goes. Sounds like a real gem to be around. Thankfully, she lives in Long Island and it's too scared to drive out of there, so we rarely see her, once or twice a year. We have 3 kids and she only visited once in the last 5 years, because she brought a lamp from an auction in Greenwich City, which is only 30 minutes from us. So she's perfectly fine to drive off the island for a lamp, but God forbid it's your grandchild's birthday. I digress. At least you know the priorities. But hey, who would want her to be there and ruin the birthday? About 5 years ago, my wife and I bought her uncle's cabin in upstate New York, beautiful 17 acres. The cabin was a little rundown, but we fixed it up. We try and go up there as much as often in the summer. The property had a few sheds with tools and whatnot and 2 tractors, big old Ford farm tractors. When we bought it, we specified all contents conveys. Her uncle didn't care about any of the stuff as if it's all used for upstate activities. What is he going to do with the tractor in Bay Ridge? Well, after we bought it, my mother-in-law called and said she has stuff there and it's hers and she wants it. Of course she did that. I didn't expect anything less from her. She inherited it from her other brother who passed away. She said the chainsaws, one of the tractor, the one, and a shop vac was hers along with a bunch of misc stuff in one of the sheds. Tools she will never use and don't even know what they do. At least she wanted tractor, I guess. My wife was a little taken aback. We told her she should have come and gotten everything before we closed. We used some of the tools, but we have our own, so I don't really care. We wanted to take down the shed that has her tractor in, so we told her we can sell the tractor and we'll give her the money. Let me guess, that wasn't good for her. She said no, she wants to keep the tractor. Okay, do that, but keep it somewhere else. We told her a few times we were planning on getting rid of that shed to build a garage. And we need to get rid of the tractor. And we can bring her the other stuff next time we come down. She was threatening to sue us if we sold any of her stuff, as she's not ready to part with it. My wife was really upset. I told her not to worry, I'll take care of it. The next weekend, we were upstate. I had rolled the tractor out of the shed and put together her mom's stuff. My wife asked me what I was doing. I said, just putting your mom's stuff together. She asked why. I said, so we can give it to her or sell it, or she can sell it, but it gotta go. I'm starting the garage tomorrow. She said, whatever, it can sit outside, I don't care. That night, after everyone fell asleep, I hatched my plan. I had hooked up my trailer. I loaded the tractor, which doesn't run, so I had to winch it on real quiet, like as to not wake anyone. I loaded her toolbox, all the mixed tools, in the shed, chainsaws, shop vac, into a biggest wooden crate. About 4 feet by 4 feet, 3 feet tall, because her, and hit the road. It's 2.5 hours to my mother-in-law house. I was trucking. I got there at about 2 a.m. I quietly backed into her driveway. Thankfully, I'm pro-trailer backer upper. Put the ramps right next to her car. Put down the ramps and had to jack up the trailer a bit to get it to slowly roll off using the winch. Jacks are loud, but I put down a sweater to try and deaden the noise. I put the crate on a dolly and rolled it off down next to the tractor. It was heavy as hell, so I knew I had to get my dolly back so she can't move it. So I jacked it up to slide it off, easily 300 pounds box. He basically delivered presents like Santa. The entire time, I can't believe I haven't been caught. She lives in a nice neighborhood and I just started doing sketchy at 2 a.m. The cops didn't show up. Whatever. I'm glad that the cops didn't show up. I must have been there for 20 minutes max. I was hustling and had arranged everything for easy offload. I get out of there laughing my ass off, a grin ear to ear. I know, I'm in trouble with my wife in the morning. Why? You just delivered to your mother-in-law the stuff she wanted. I was almost home. It's 5:45 and my wife is calling. She asked where I went. I told her I went to get breakfast for everyone. For sure, that operation deserves a celebration. So I stopped, bought a bunch of bagels and coffee and donuts. Just giggled to myself like a serial killer at 6 a.m. on a Saturday. I get home and she asked why I still had the trailer hooked up. I said, oh, I wasn't sure if I was going to the lumberyard or not, and I didn't feel like unhooking it. It makes me uncomfortable how good of a liar OP is. It's definitely a red flag. I'm trying to hide my excitement for the call, jacked up with adrenaline. 8 a.m. rolled around, nothing. 8:30, nothing. Luckily, it was a little chilly, so no one had gone outside to see the tractor is gone. 9:15, the call came. I see her look at her phone and roll her eyes. Ugh, she hates her mom. I tell her to pick up. As soon as she picks up, you can hear screaming. My wife is like, what the f is happening? I walk over, put my hand out, put the phone on speaker and say, you wanted your tractor, you got it, and hang up. I bet this was one of the most happy moments of OP's life. I had to explain what I have done to my wife and she was dying laughing. Thankfully. Black Hole called about 10 times, all going unanswered. Not you calling her Black Hole. She then texted, I'm calling the police. For what? For receiving your property? Make it make sense. My wife is starting to panic a bit. I tell her, don't worry, I'll handle it. About 1 p.m. a Long Island number comes up as XXX Town Police. Oh, I pick up. This is Officer so-and-so. I'm here with Black Hole. She said you dumped stuff on her property. I calmly said, that's her stuff. She wanted it. Officer, is this your tractor? Black Hole, yes, but I don't want it here. I want them to take it back. He says something like, do you have a storage agreement or anything? She says no. I explained the situation to him and said there's nothing I can do as there wasn't anything wrong unless she wanted to press trespassing charges. But you have to prove he was on your property. Anyone could have dropped it off. Imagine pressing charges against a family member who basically delivered the stuff you wanted. At this point, the officer had realized this lady is batshit crazy and didn't want to deal with this. I thought I might actually get in trouble. Anyway, she didn't talk to us for like 6 months, so really, it was a win-win for me. So basically, you got rid of the tractor and got rid of mother-in-law while doing exactly what she wanted. Dear sir, you're a pro. You are a king of revenge. This is why I am a member of this sub. Well done, OP. Anytime you can get a narcissist to leave you alone is a genius move. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stories. If you did, please subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments. I reply them all, and see you in the next one.